So you've had a good year, and now you need to calculate your net gains, and you're going to use one of the online gain calculation services. And there's dozens of them. Some of them have been around multiple years and are quite well seasoned. Others are brand new and address different purposes. So these services are often very inexpensive. You can use them for less than $300 typically. They're very easy to use as long as you have only a couple exchanges of data to enter. The way these services work is you plug in the transaction history from exchanges, the wallet addresses for where you did DeFi trading, and then it will identify all the transactions, try to match up when you bought it to when you sold it, and then make a tax classification. The output from these services is going to be spreadsheets that you can use in preparing your taxes. The problem with these online services is that they generally have to make assumptions about how things worked, and if you don't correct these assumptions, you'll end up typically having too much gain being reported. When you have too much gain, that means you're going to be paying too much in taxes, so that's why it's important. The complexity in using these services grows exponentially as you have more than a couple exchanges and start using DeFi, or if you're a degen or doing very creative things as a crypto trader. It's okay to do those things. It's just these services can't follow. Basically, anything that involves a smart contract puts it into a very complex place. It doesn't really know what's happening. So let me give you an example. Let's say you bought a token on Ethereum for $1,000. When that token was worth $3,000, you bridged it to Solana, and then when it was worth $5,000, you sold it to someone else on Solana. You bought it for $1,000, sold it for $5,000. That should be a $4,000 gain that's reported. But these online services can't read that all the way because there's a smart contract being involved to bridge, and that's where they get confused in this scenario. So let's look at it. They'll see that you bought the token for $1,000 and then you disposed of it on the Ethereum blockchain when it was worth $3,000, and the blockchain will show that that was transferred to somebody else, the person facilitating the trade for you. So they'll say, well, you made a $2,000 gain. But then over on the Solana blockchain, they'll see that this token arrives from someone else, and they'll say, hey, that's $3,000 worth of income. You later sell it at $5,000, resulting in $2,000 a gain, and they'll identify that as $2,000. So we'll have a total of $7,000 of income from moving this coin when you're using online services. Well, that's incorrect. You only had 4. There was no change of ownership involved, and they got confused because they couldn't map the Ethereum transaction and the Solana transaction together. They can't see that from the blockchain itself. So that's why you have to be concerned. Now, that's just an example of bridging. There are literally hundreds of ways things go wrong using these online gain calculation services. You have to look at your data, be experienced, and make manual reconciliations. And that gets to be the problem, because after you've spent maybe an hour or two making these modifications, you start to wonder what the correct data is. And the fact of the matter is, most people that are good at trading are not good at doing this reconciliation work. It's a type of accounting work, and it requires a special temperament to do it. Let's just put it that way. I've seen guys who have said they've worked for hundreds of hours trying to reconcile these amounts and then just threw in the towel because they just had no idea what was right anymore. So that's the online gain calculation services. This will probably be the method. If you're a little fish, this will be the best method to use typically. In our next video, we're going to talk about having full service gain calculation. We have somebody else do that reconciliation work. Wouldn't that be nice?